I'm sorry, honey.
Excuse me?
They're still trying to get the website to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Lots of pressure.
You just said S and O. You didn't have S and C though.
Page blocked.
Yeah, or, you
Oh,
know,
I get that all
you-
the time.
you don't want bad websites.
Where are you going?
I don't, well, no, I mean, it's just like, because I typed something in wrong. Remind me to tell you a story. I'm sorry. Oh, there. Oh, okay. Sir.
You ready? Okay. Major Semeka, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning?
Absolutely. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the June 27, 2019 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission and represent District 3 alongside Commissioner Bill Rippon, who represents District 1, and Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
First item of business, please.
Number one, proclamations, presentations. Presentation of public access to capital improvement requests on the county website.
Good morning. Thankfully, our wonderful IT department got me rolling today. So, Jennifer Sauer from Audit Finance. As you recall, on May 6th, Betty Greiner gave a presentation for our new capital improvement policy under Resolution 2019-27. Included in that policy was a plan that will help us at Shawnee County coordinate across our departments, plan for the future, and communicate to the public. And so that last piece is why I'm here today. So it included a timeline that would talk about where the capital improvement plan would be available to the public. So, and I'm here just to show you how you guys can go about finding it. So if you go on our main web page, during the month of July, there will be included in the banner up here. Currently sitting at number 2. This is our link, and it will allow a spot for you to click to get directly to our capital improvement plan. Also available year-round, it will be located under our departments, and you go to Audit Finance, and it will be over here on the left under CIP. Both will take you to the same place, which is our public access to the capital improvement program. These are currently requests that all of the departments have made over a 5-year timeline. Immediately will pop up all of those requests that have been made from all departments over 5 years into a couple of graphs. Don't know why I'm not scrolling very well. Here we go. Both a bar graph and a pie graph, which will show you how the breakdown is for the different types of requests that have been made. It's a lot of information and a lot of projects. So there are ways that you can filter that down. Say you're more interested in what's happening just this upcoming budget year. You go down here to the filter. Which will pop up this awesome thing in a minute, I hope. There we go. Where you can filter by many different items. Say you're looking for this fiscal year. You can change it to 2020 for next year. And it filters out just the items that are being requested for 2020 money. You can scroll through them. You can find things you're interested in. It will give you the description, what department is asking for the project, categorize it for you. Almost everything is currently in planning or design right now because it's a brand new program that we have. And then the funding source and the years that it will be spent. Also included is the total amount of funding, and I just want to make sure people understand that is not the amount of money that is being requested out of 2020. That is the total amount amongst all the years that are listed at the bottom. If you want even more detail, you can do multiple filters. Say you're interested in what is going to be happening at solid waste in 2020. You now have access to what their vehicle refresh is for solid waste. So you can see in 2020, they're planning on replacing one front loader, one roll-off, and multiple other pieces of equipment out there. So it's just communicating with the public how they can, how the departments are requesting to spend their money. I also want to make sure people understand none of this has been approved yet because it's the commission's job to approve the capital outlay requests. Also, one last little nifty tool they give is a map. So you can actually click here. It will load up a map that will show you where all of these projects are across the county. So obviously we're pooled here in this one county, which is good. If we look over in the Silver Lake area, you can also see if you're living over there, you can zoom in and see exactly what's happening over at Silver Lake. When you click on each of the decals, it'll show you what each of the projects is named. And if you're super interested in one of them, you can go back to where we were before. It does work better on your computer at home, I promise. Because I've been doing this for the last couple days. Say you're interested in one of those was on Glick Road. I typed too fast for this, apparently. And it's not going to find it. You can search for one by name. I'm going to give up because this isn't going to happen. But if you search for Glick, you would actually pull up the one item that is Glick Road, and you would be able to see this kind of detail for that project, where it would tell you exactly what's happening and in what the year is that they're planning on doing that project. So, hope that's helpful, and our main goal is to get this as clear and open to the public as we can, so that people know what's coming down the road for our capital improvement.
Very good. But I think the highlight is that this shows the priority and the needs of capital improvement
Absolutely.
within the different departments. Well, it's some pretty nifty software. Commissioner Cook, anything to add?
Well, I mean, this doesn't substantially change how the commission has been doing its business over the last, since we've been here. We've been very focused on making sure we plan for the future. I think that what this does is add a level of transparency, of ease for the public, so they can access the same information the commissioners are looking at. We communicate very closely with all department heads, so we know what upcoming projects are, but this allows the public to have that same level of access that the commission has. And that's really what we want, is transparency in government. So.
Very good, thank you. Commissioner Rippon, any thoughts?
Well, Jennifer, thanks for all your work on this, and IT. Betty, I'm sure you all had a hand in this, and I think it's a great planning tool, and I think it will help us too, because we'll have all this at our fingertips, and it's just nice to have it all in one package.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
As long as we don't get lost.
You know where to find us.
Yeah, I know. Very good, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jennifer. Well done. Next item of business, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
10 items on the consent agenda. Are there comments or questions?
I move for approval as presented.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business, A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Under County Project and District Attorney, SciTech Media Systems, Inc., totaling $37,998, is for audio-visual equipment for court room 311. Under 911 Maintenance and Repairs, Motorola Solutions, Inc., $10,690, is for relay panels at Tower of America and Valencia Radio Towers. Under pass-through, Washburn University, $50,043 is for East Topeka Learning Center. Total vouchers as of June 26, 2019 is $413,813.50. And I move for approval of the vouchers.
Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cooks. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move to approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Parks and Recreation number 1, consider approval of request to award a bid to Binswanger Enterprises LLC for the Central Park Community Center entrance and glass replacement, ADA push plate, and removal of interior door at a cost of $17,476, with funding from the Capital Maintenance 3R funds, and authorization and execution of contract C-243-2019 for same.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Department. On April 8th of this year, we came before this commission to ask for permission to go out for RFP for this project. We did. We only received one response. The gist of the project is this will replace the front doors at Central Park Community Center. The reason that we're wanting to do that is the doors can only be locked from the outside. We feel like this is a security risk for staff when they're trying to lock up at night. They've kind of outlived their useful life. There's a lot of play in the doors. You can push them and almost get them to open on their own. It's just not a good situation. So also replacing the push plates on the back for ADA reasons. So we think it's a good project. And with that, I did bring a few photos to kind of show you. It's kind of a little bit hard to see, but that's the three doors. You can see there is actually only one place to lock it. That locks all three doors with that one lock. That's one of the reasons why it's not very secure. It's a little flimsy. And here's a picture from the inside. These three doors on the inside will actually be removed as part of the process. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions or comments for Mr. Yes.
I know that we're talking about the doors today, but can you talk to us a little bit about Central Park? As we've been, at the last meeting, we talked about Hillcrest and all the improvements to Hillcrest. I think that what thing needs to be highlighted is with these community centers that were part of the Shawnee County and City of Topeka merger, Shawnee County has been going through and systematically improving the community centers and making reinvestments, significant reinvestments into the community centers. Central Park is used by USD 501 Robinson for school access. We have library access, computer terminals. We have the health department has sessions there, community meetings there. What are some of the improvements we're looking at for Central Park?
Right. I will tell you that Crestview is actually the center that we're focused on next after Hillcrest. But for Central Park, one thing I would like to note is that we have actually moved a lot of our staff to Central Park. We have staff offices on that lower level. So I don't know how many offices we have down there now, but it's quite a few. I mean, we've got a pretty significant number of our staff that work out of that building on a daily basis, not just the ones that are running the center. I believe that this is also the location that we were replacing the basketball goals so that they come down out of the ceiling and the volleyball equipment there, so that's on the horizon. So yeah, I mean, I think we're using it a lot, and I think the community's using it a lot, so.
I think there was a lot of work that had not been put into the community centers. The word deferred maintenance was used quite a bit. And I think that that's really something that doesn't get highlighted is the amount of work that's been put into our community centers and our parks to bring them back up to where they should have been at. and there's just a lot more that needs to be done. I mean, as with anything, more work you do, there's more work to be done.
Absolutely.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Rippon, any thoughts? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B2, consider approval of request to award a bid to Bettis Asphalt and Construction, Inc. for a full-depth pavement reclamation and HMAC overlay on East Edge Road from Southeast 37th Street to 45th Street along the east side of Lake Shawnee at a cost of $361,277 with funding from the excess reserve funds and authorization and execution of contract C-244-2019 for same.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Boyd, Shawnee County Parks and Rec. Trying to get this going here. This is a project to make some improvements to East Edge Road from 37th to 45th Street. And before I get started, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Mr. Tom Flanagan for the assistance putting the specifications together for this project. He was a big help with that. There we go. This is actually 37th Street and East Edge Road. This is where the project would start or finish, depending on how we orient where we start on the project. Moving through, now these are approximate numbers, 5,473 feet by 24 foot wide. So we're looking at approximately 131,373 square feet of road surface to be improved. Our biggest hurdle through the project will be maintaining access to Lake Shawnee Golf Course. We'll obviously work with the contractor to make sure that we have access from one direction or the other, so that at the bare minimum, we might be down for a day not being able to access the course just while we do the road right directly in front of their entrance. And this would be the 45th Street intersection to maintain and go through. And that's pretty much what I've got. So be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for John?
Maybe. There are no residents that feed off of this road.
Not from that road, no.
Okay. I have no other question.
Commissioner Cook?
Timeline for construction.
We're shooting for August, and it's approximately 35 days for complete finish of the project.
And again, the priority is making sure that we still have access to the golf course during that.
Yes, sir.
And the golf course would be able to notify anybody that plans on having tournaments or events there of upcoming construction.
Once this is approved, we'll sit down with the contractor and the golf course and make sure that everybody's aware of the schedule and get everybody on the same page. So absolutely, yeah.
Very good.
I'll move that we approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, John. Next item, please.
Item B3, consider authorization and execution of the following. A, contract C-245-2019 with Parks for All Foundation to host a business unwind event at Bettis Family Sports Complex on Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019, from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. And B, resolution number 2019-42, temporarily exempting Bettis Family Sports Complex from restrictions on selling, serving, possessing, and consuming alcoholic liquor and/or cereal malt beverages.
Good morning, Commissioners. Olivia Mayer, Parks and Recreation. The Parks for All Foundation, we've been given a great opportunity to host this event in conjunction with the Greater Topeka Partnership. It allows us to showcase one of our awesome venues at the Bettis Family Sports Complex. It also is going to allow us to launch our new Parks for All Foundation brand. Jared Holroyd, Parks for All Foundation president, is here. We've been able to work together on this event, and the foundation is kind of new to me, so we've had some fun with that. But we have our brand launch video we'd like to share with you guys this morning. Thank you to IT for helping me get this going.
We need to be outside to be happy. We need to be together to be complete. To be a community, we need a place to commune. We've long recognized this, which is why our parks have been central to our identity for so long. Intentionally designed and curated community spaces predate the invention of the automobile. Before our desire to go faster, we recognize the need to slow down and enjoy the beauty of this world. Parks for All Foundation exists to support our parks in concert with Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. Through private donations, the foundation enhances our parks in ways that public funding cannot. Our parks are vital to who we are, and Parks for All Foundation is here to protect and promote these treasures. Our communities provide the public space, and with your generosity, we bring them to life. Through the Parks for All Foundation, our community gets to collectively decide who we want to be. By giving freely of our time and resources, we are preserving the legacies of those who mean the most to us and creating a future for those who will come next.
Jared, do you?
I don't need to say anything.
All right. Well, I'd like to, or I can answer any questions you guys might have.
Oh, that video is really good, well done. I'm almost tempted to adjourn the meeting and tell everybody to go outside and enjoy the day. Questions, Commissioner Cook?
I'm glad you said almost.
Yeah, almost.
No, I think it's very well done.
Yeah, very good. Jared, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Commissioner Rupon?
Very nice video. I like it.
Very good. I'll move to approve the contract and adopt the resolution.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Again, thank you, Olivia. Well
you.
done. Next item, please.
Item C, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider approval of request to hire a planning director at a salary not including benefits of $85,000 and to pay for the preferred candidate's moving expenses of $6,164.
Morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works and Solid Waste. On April 1st of this year, the Commission approved our request to advertise and fill a position for Planning Director. Since that time, we've had 4 applicants. 2 of them applied relatively late in the process. And we conducted 4 interviews. And as a result of those interviews, we have selected Randy Anderson. He comes to us from Texas. He has over 30 years of planning experience. I won't dwell on the specifics, but I have included his resume in the package that you should have. Considering Mr. Anderson's extensive experience, I'm proposing or asking for an annual salary of $85,000. That does not include benefits. Funding from this expense will obviously come from the planning department, and I don't think it will be a problem because we haven't had a planning director for a number of months. So I think the 2019 budget will handle it. In addition, since Mr. Anderson is moving from Texas, I'm asking you to consider approving paying for his moving expenses in the amount of $6,164 payable to Merit Moving. This was the lowest of 3 bids that Mr. Anderson received, and as far as I can tell, this bid and this contract for the moving expenses is fully in compliance with the Parks and Recreation relocation policy. So, I think this position is important to Shawnee County as we manage the comprehensive plan, zoning, subdivision regulations, I think this position is critical to the overall benefit of Shawnee County and its hope for future growth. Any questions?
Very good. Questions for Kurt?
No?
I have none. I move that we approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Well done, Kurt.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item D, Administrative Services. Number 1, update on revenues and expenditures as of May 31, 2019.
If I can get the mouse there. There we go. Hey, good morning. Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. I'm here today with the financial overview for May 31st of this year. We will start on the revenue side. Our year-to-date revenues total $54,110,087. That is compared to our budgeted for the same time period of $53,550,970. This chart shows those two. You can see that the budget variance on that is $559,000, and it's a positive variance. We have received more revenue than had been estimated or budgeted for that time period. This chart shows the different categories. I'll go into those individually, but you can see that by far the largest category is property taxes. The first category is property taxes, and we've received $45,150,606. That has not changed since last month because we will not have another tax distribution until June. The next category is other revenue. We've received $4,029,128. That is $41,000 over budget, so right on budget for the year. Charges for services is the next category. Received $2,365,444. That is $376,000 under budget, mostly from Parks and Rec, and then also Register of Deeds is down. But as we know with Register of Deeds, that can be a timing issue with house closings. The next is other revenue. We received $2,564,910. That is $956,000 over what was budgeted, and that is mainly attributable to investment income going up throughout the year, and then also penalty and interest being higher than expected. So this pie chart shows that 94% of our revenue was received from property taxes, then 8% from other taxes, 4% from charges for services, and 5% from other revenue. Now we'll go on to the expenditure side. Through May 31st, we've spent $42,920,373. That is compared to what was budgeted for the same time period of $43,346,909. So that means we are $426,000 under budget, and expenses, you want to be under budget. So that's a positive variance. This chart, again, shows the different categories and how the different categories make up the total. The first category we look at is law enforcement. We spent $20,994,778. That is $222,000 under budget for the same time period. Next category is Parks and Rec, Parks plus Rec, and the Expo Center. I guess I'll have to change the slide on that one since it's no longer the Expo Center. But we have spent $6,908,125. That is $110,000 over budgeted. But as we know with Parks and Recreation, timing can be everything in the summer. So we'll wait and see if that continues. Next category is Public Works. We spent $3,998,343. That is right on budget. But I also want to mention, as I do often, that this does not include any projects that are funded by sales tax or that were funded by federal exchange monies. This is just from the general fund. Next category is public health. We spent $4,034,477, which is right on budget. Administrative services, we spent $6,055,961. That is $249,000 under budget, and that is because of the contingency. We have not had to use the contingency at the same rate as it was estimated. And our last category is debt service. We have spent $928,690. There's no change from that from prior month because this consists of the first half interest only. This chart just shows the different categories and how they compare to each other. You can also, this one I think does a good job of showing that law enforcement is definitely the largest category and debt service is the smallest. And this is a pie chart that shows the year-to-date expenses. 49% of all of our expenditures went to law enforcement. Parks plus Rec and Expo was 16%, Public Works 9%, Public Health 10%, Administrative Services 14%, and Debt Service 2%. Oh, do you have any questions for me?
Questions for Betty? Yes, Commissioner Cook.
Betty, as we look forward to Parks and Recreation, I'm a little bit concerned. We went through a very cold winter, into a very wet spring. Those things directly impact the ability for people to go out and enjoy the parks, for
Right.
those revenue generators. What are we looking at as forecasting? I know it may be a little bit too early to tell what the impact is from all the rain this spring on Parks and Recreation when it comes to golf or
Yeah.
swimming or athletic events.
And at this point, this is just through May. So it's a little too early to tell, but that's something we'll definitely be watching, and that's something I'll bring to you next month when we look at June and see if I can, give you a better understanding of that or see how we're doing then.
Well, I just looked at, we put golf on its own accountability, that
Yes.
it was to be self-sustaining, but when it is extremely cold or extremely wet, I'm not a golfer. I've golfed one time in my life, but from what I understand, you don't want it to be extremely cold or extremely rainy.
That's what I understand, too.
Well, and it is in a self-sustaining fund, and what we have done is they have been able to build up a little reserve in that fund so that it can weather some of these weather. That pun was not intended, but so they can handle some of these little, hardships that come along and still be self-sustaining.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Rippon, any thoughts or questions?
Weather has no effect on my golf game.
Very good. Thank you so much, Betty. Next item, please.
Item E, Commission Number 1, consider Resolution 2019-43, appointing Tim Laurent as the Director of Shawnee County Parks and Recreation effective July 1, 2019.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Commissioner Cook, I'll let you lead it off.
Thank you. I think I would move to make Tim the Director of Parks and Recreation. He has been acting as a deputy and then really proving himself in Shawnee County. Has been a great asset to the organization. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that I do want to publicly thank John Knight for his years of service through Shawnee County, through all the work that he's done, noting that there is, and I was going to mention it during Administrative Communications, that there's a reception for John this afternoon as a retirement out at Lake Shawnee, and would just really want to thank John for his years of service to the Commission and to Shawnee County. He's made a great impact, but I think that Tim will be a great director. There's been a lot of work that he's put in already and coming up to speed, and I think that he's proved himself already to be valuable to the community.
Very good, thank you. Commissioner Rippon?
Tim's hit the ground running and shown some great leadership skill, and I just like his whole attitude towards Parks and Recreation, and I think you're a good fit, so welcome aboard.
Is that the second?
That's a second.
Yeah, I'd like to say congratulations too. I've heard from other members of the public that appreciate your energy and enthusiasm for the job. And I think your experience and vision for Parks and Rec in our future is just outstanding. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Again,
Thank you.
congratulations, Tim.
If it would be appropriate that I could say a few words?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, first, I want to thank each of you for, it's an understatement to say that I'm humbled and honored by getting this opportunity. I don't take it lightly, but I appreciate your confidence in me. And I also want to thank John Knight. I served as his deputy for a short period, but learned a lot of good insight from John, and really appreciate him taking a chance on bringing me over when he did. I want to thank the staff. I don't think I honestly would be here today if they hadn't welcomed me the way that they did. It's been a great relationship, and I think hopefully they've learned a little bit from me. I know I've learned a lot from them, so I really appreciate their support. And then last, because I want to keep this brief, I want to thank my family. My wife and my youngest daughter are here today, and they're lifelong residents of Lawrence, Kansas, and I came home one day and said, let's move to Shawnee County. And they didn't blink an eye. They didn't blink an eye. So I appreciate their support, and I'm excited about the future, and looking forward to getting started. So thank you.
Very well said. Very well said. Which is your wife and which is your daughter?
My daughter Debbie in the red.
Welcome to Shawnee County. We're glad you have. Congratulations again, Tim. Excellent. Next item, please.
Item E2, consider resolution number 2019-44, establishing salaries for elected officials effective July 1, 2019.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. Before you is a resolution for elected officials and department heads. I'd just like to say we have the hardest working executive team in the world as far as I'm concerned. And the salaries that are before you, do I need to list them off for you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I would hope that you approve.
Very good. Thank you. I'll move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Motion made to adopt the resolution by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item D3, consider resolution number 2019-45, establishing salaries for department leaders effective July 1, 2019.
Same applies to the directors.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out for department heads and department leaders, there was some considerations of CBIZ, the salary study that we did. There were other considerations of additional responsibilities that some leaders had. But in the final analysis, the raises that we are providing for our leadership team are based on performance.
Yes.
And we have a very high-performing group of leaders in Shawnee County. The public should know that. And I'll be proud to make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Questions or comments, others?
I'll second.
Motion made to adopt the resolution by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Item E4, consider approval of appointment of Scott Degand as the Monmouth Township Treasurer.
Scott has shown tremendous interest and has served on the Monmouth Township Board for quite some time and will be a tremendous addition to that board, and I'll make a motion that we approve the appointment.
I will second, but I just want to make a clarification that Scott is currently serving as the clerk of the Monmouth Township. Is that correct? Just verifying. And no.
Not
Okay.
currently.
Right, not currently. So, just wanted to,
Okay.
and going through the letter, that has previously served on the Monmouth Township.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for department leaders, members of the public, to address the commission with no time constraints whatsoever. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dusty Nichols, Emergency Management. I was speaking with Commissioner Archer this morning, and he asked me to advertise, I guess, for lack of a better term. I've been asked and received the honor of being on Michelle, the Mayor De Lisa's podcast coming up in the next couple of weeks. So anything you would want to pass on, let me know, and I'll try not to embarrass you. I'm not sure when it's going to air, but I think it's going to record in the next couple of weeks with her and Jamie Slack.
Okay, very, very good,
Looking forward
Dusty.
to it.
And again, I want, on behalf of the community, thank you for the work you did at the Stampede, along with Brian Cole, the sheriff's office, and everybody that was involved. It was a stellar effort. It's really
Thank you, sir.
noticed and appreciated. Thank you, Dusty.
Appreciate that. I'll pass it on.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Martin with the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Two items we wanted to bring to your attention this morning. One, we wanted to publicly thank Mr. John Knight for his many years of service, and especially for his difficult years of service bringing us out of the consolidation into the present state of the Parks and Rec. He's done a tremendous job, and I think hopefully he'll continue to play a role in this community. And we also would like to welcome Tim, because we've already been working with Tim a great deal, and we are looking forward to continuing the vision and expanding on that vision. And I think he's going to be very, very good at it, and he's a very detail-oriented fellow. So we look forward to working with him on many different aspects. And we'd make sure everybody comes out if they can this afternoon to Mr. Knight's event, and we'll see you there. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Jim.
Good morning, Commissioners. Melanie Burgers, Director of Communications, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. This morning, I'd like to recognize our office assistant, Melanie Hasselman. Melanie, would you please stand? Melanie Hasselman has been in the Communications Division for about 10 years. She's served as a Communications Specialist 1 for intermittently and full-time, and currently her job is our Administrative Assistant in the Communications Division. Melanie was recently recognized in June for the YWCA Woman of Excellence. She was an honoree for that award, and the reason that she was nominated and received that is because of the extreme amount of work that Melanie has put into hiring. Melanie has taken on our hiring and recruiting, and really is outside of her job duties, but she has a significant passion for creating, continuing to fill our positions. And I'm very pleased to report, after a conversation with her yesterday, that for the first time in a few years, we are about 2 people away from hiring every vacant position that we have currently. So we really appreciate the work that Melanie's doing and want to congratulate her on her honor. Good job, Melanie.
Very good. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The last thing, Commissioners, we would like to announce Nicholas Hill as our Assistant Director of Communications. Nick has worked with the Communications Division since 2011. He's been a frontline dispatcher, a trainer, and lastly, a shift supervisor for the last 3 years. He's getting used to the sunlight as he's been on third shift for the past 3 years. So this is an interesting transition for him, mostly just because of the hours and the duties that we're putting on for him. I'd like to also note that Nick was very instrumental in the Stampede. Communications played obviously a vital role for all of our first responder partners and the event. He did an excellent job. He hit the ground running, making sure that we had communications plans, dispatchers on site, and really worked with all the responders. Just briefly, some of his qualifications. Nick holds a bachelor's degree from Washburn University in forensic chemical science. He's very, very bright. He has been to numerous APCO conferences, which is one of our professional organizations, and has really been instrumental in a lot of our technology projects. And what he's doing now in the absence of our radio shop is taking on some of our radio administrative duties and just absolutely being significant assistance to myself and our agency. I'd like to invite Nick for a few words.
Commissioners, I'd just like to, I guess, introduce myself. Probably have some communication with you at some point. Again, thank Melanie for the opportunity, and again, thank you guys for reclassifying this position and letting me fill it so we can hit the ground running and lead the agency forward.
Very good. Congratulations, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Nellie.
Morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facilities Maintenance Director. Wanted to let the occupants of this building and the general public know that the scaffolding they see on the side of the courthouse will be there probably for the next 4 to 5 months as we work to maintain this building and keep it going for another 50, 60 years. We're waterproofing and sealing it and trying to get it cleaned up so that it'll look nice and function well. So when you see the scaffolding, we know what we're doing on it. So
Very good. Thank you, Bill.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oakes from the Health Department. I want to announce that our next Baby Basics session will be starting July 10th, run through August 14th. This is a class for expectant parents. It's been very successful, and it's already filling up. So if people are interested, I encourage them to call. The number is 251-5647. That's 251-5647. I'd like to also acknowledge our partners in this effort: Baker University, Stormont Vale Health, Kansas State Extension, and Grace Med Clinic. So it truly is a partnership between many community organizations. I'd also like to tell you that yesterday our staff pushed the button and we submitted all our documentation for accreditation. We've been working on this documentation for a year. It's a lot of work and a lot of good work by all the staff. So now we're waiting to hear back, and they'll be scheduling our site visit, and hopefully by this time next year we will be an accredited health department. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Linda.
Good morning, Commissioners. Andrew Howell with Elections. Just wanted to say, just start reminding the public that I think for the first time in over 40 years, we do not expect to have a primary election in August. So just a reminder about that for the public and Commissioners. If Commissioners would like me to, I would not mind doing a presentation someday just talking about kind of how that's occurred and the details around the law related to that. So if you're interested in that, we'd be happy to do that sometime soon. Just a reminder for the public about that. And then secondly, I want to also do just a thank you, I guess, to Commissioners and to Jim Crowell for spending time at the office and visiting with us, and just want to say thank you for the effort and that partnership that we have. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's Carol Marple, and I came to ask, you'll be setting the budget soon, and as a taxpayer, I have concern about the budget. So I had a few questions that I wanted to ask. The first being, what is the amount of carryover funds that we're going to have from 2018?
I don't have it off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Okay. I had asked that earlier, and, okay, so,
From what I recall, it's going to be about 26 or 27 million, about where our goal is of 25% of annual expense.
no, my question was about 2018. What, for that year, not the total?
Oh, for that year?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
I filed a Cora. Okay. The next one that I wanted to ask about, I have been and will continue to be interested in Parks and Recreation. I feel that that is very important to our community. And I was looking at some of this, and I just have some questions, and so I'm going to take a minute and ask them. When will you vote on capital improvements? I saw in one of the documents for capital improvements, there is $10 million listed as a family park improvements. Does that mean all the parks in Shawnee County will be getting some improvement? Is that a specific couple of parks, or what is that?
Well, we'll have specific information when we go through the budget hearings and discuss capital improvement projects and requests at that time.
And when will you vote on the capital improvements
It'll be
for
part-
every department?
It'll be part of the budget process, I assume. Betty, you,
When we adopted our capital improvement plan, that was determined that the capital improvement plan would be adopted by July 31st, so that way that is completed before we get into the 2020 budget discussions.
very good.
So are they going to be separate hearings or what if they're not included with the budget?
I think we're planning to have those included with the budget
Well, she
discussions.
said they were going to.
hearings,
They'll be with the hearings, but they'll be voted on separately.
Yes.
Before July 31st.
Yes.
So when will you publicize, like, what these improvements are? Because I see that there's also a notation of shop consolidation. I myself, just looking at that note, think, why in the world would we want to spend $2.5 million on shop consolidation when we have so many parks that need new playground equipment and stuff like that?
You know,
So when will this be explained to the public?
it'll be explained at the budget process, and there'll be a number of questions that the public will have, that the commissioners will have, and we'll thoroughly vet all of the budget information and the request for capital improvements.
And how much of a notice will the public be given about this budget?
I imagine we're going to have on our website exactly when the budget hearings will be. Can we do that?
I think they may be on the website.
It's on the website already?
Is it on the website already?
I'm not sure if I think. It is.
It is? Okay.
Okay.
And then just interest of transparency, it's just a curiosity question. I look at where you approved over $400,000 for the road, and Parks and Rec is funding that. Why isn't that a public works issue?
I think that's a county Parks and Rec responsibility, not the Public Works.
For that road?
Yes, the Public Works Director is nodding yes.
It's located in the park.
Yeah.
It's a park
The
road.
whole road is in the park? Okay, okay.
Thank you, Commissioner.
There. And just an FYI, because it's a thorn in my side,
Uh.
and I did bring it up, when you were renewing the contract with the people that do the yard work in front of the courthouse, I think they could do a little better. Thank you.
Anyone else for administrative communications this morning? Next item, please. Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Cook.
I didn't have anything, but, but I'm sure that Commissioner Rippon wants to let us know where he's been and what he's doing.
Well, let's see, I attended a strengthening early childhood in Kansas seminar at the library. I thought that was interesting. They brought in a lot of people who do child care and work with children in different capacities, and they were getting their input on what they thought they could do to improve the health care of children in Kansas, and it was a good event. So
Very good, very good. Anything else? It's good to see Tim Rencher here from the Topeka Capital Journal. We don't see enough of Tim. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
There's not a need for an executive session. We're officially adjourned. Thank you for attending today.
Next Monday is Phil Q's last day as a bishop. So